Good afternoon. This is Chapter 4, David's video blog. The topic today is digital communication and how that compares to the communication that I grew up with in my high school and college years when it was all analog. So let's just talk about that. First thing I'll show you here is something that is increasingly rare these days, and it's a airmail letter. This was the kind of letter that I used to send and receive information when I was overseas in my college and post-college years living in Japan. This was the kind of letter I wrote and also received from my parents to hear what was going on back in the hometown, and also to share with them my life and experiences living in Tokyo. But this kind of thing is a very different form of communication. Obviously, the gap between when you send it and when you receive it was much longer. I might have received one of these once every month from my folks, so maybe 12 times a year I'd hear from the hometown family. Vastly different than today. Digital has obviously had huge and really seismic changes and implications for all of us. And one example of that, of course, is um, the PC, email being so instant, texting, instant messaging, twittering, tweeting, of course now vlogging, all that digital communication is instant, and it's international, it's global. Digital knows no boundaries. And one example of how different it is for my son and daughter is this little chart, which shows you the Snook family text messaging stats for February of this year. Jason, 6,200 texts. Angela, 1,200 texts. Dad, that's me, 71. And my wife, Susan, only 26. So this shows you the frenetic pace of texting for certainly my son, Jason. This averages out to something like 200 texts sent and received per day on average. And that's an awful lot of information. What I would observe, though, is that the substance of information shared in each one of those texts is pretty light. My observation is that there's a lot of texting going back and forth between these younger kids, but it's one or two lines, maybe three lines of communication per text, if that. So there's not a whole lot of depth. In any case, obviously, things have changed. The 21st century has brought with us vast technological improvements in our life and changes to our lifestyle, how we communicate, and that's the topic and the thoughts that I have to share with you today here in Chapter 4. Bye for now.